The results-driven Merrimack Valley Chamber of Commerce invites you to connect your business with 1,000 other companies just like yours, including education and workforce development, healthcare, professional services, manufacturing, retail, nonprofit, trades and vocations, hospitality, among many others, and benefit with chamber programs and services such as government affairs, energy and economic development, small business assistance, networking opportunities, women in business programs, young people in business programs, and more. We invite your business to become a starring member of the Merrimack Valley Chamber today and see what a difference this chamber will make for you. Join your community's most trusted, effective, and relevant business network connection today. The Merrimack Valley Chamber of Commerce.
Hello everyone, this is Mike Bevilacqua with the Merrimack Valley Chamber of Commerce. I'd like to welcome you all to another edition of the Merrimack Valley Chamber Means Business program. We're here with two very special guests today. I'm here with Noah and Neil from the MVRTA. Welcome to the show and thanks for joining us.
No, thanks you, Mike. I really appreciate your giving us this platform. I think just to introduce myself, I am now 6 weeks into to being the administrator.
Congratulations.
Thank you for the MVRTA. So I've been, making the rounds. So Neil and I have been riding buses. We've been meeting folks, both the business community as well as the leaders in each of our 16 cities and towns, and just getting a sense of how the MVRTA is used, what people would like to do. And I think really solidifying that sort of tight relationship that transit has with the communities that we serve, with the businesses we serve. I think ideally we bring people to businesses,
yes,
and businesses bring riders onto our system. So it's a beautiful symbiotic relationship.
Perfect. And Neil, welcome as well.
Thank you so much for having us here. We really appreciate it.
Appreciate it. I'll have you both just tell everyone at home what exactly the MVRTA, the Merrimack Valley Regional Transit Authority, what you do. I think pretty much everyone's probably used a part of the MVRTA once in their lives. And like you said, you bring people to business, you bring business to people, you make it all work.
Correct. So I'm Neil. My name is Niorka Mendez, but I go by Neil. I am the marketing director at the MVRTA, been working with this company for about 7 years. I used to be a bus operator before. And right now I wear very different hats like Noah has said. I'm the Sherpa, public relations person, and it's just a fun thing to do. And it's always good to serve the community, and like Noah said, we bring people to businesses and businesses bring people to us, and it's always good. We know that there's a need for transit in every way you see it in every community. So we're very glad to provide that service to this community.
Thank you. And Noah, you came on board just 6 weeks ago, just brand new to the system. You came almost like, hopefully towards the end of COVID, but who knows? Yeah. We're in this COVID period right now. How has COVID changed what the MVRTA does, and how do you address that situation?
Yeah, no, that's so one of the pressing issue for transit authorities across the country. What's tough is certainly our ridership is far down from what it was before
Sure.
COVID. We're at about just over 60% of the ridership we carried in 2019 before COVID. And I think the first thing we had to do is just make sure that people understood that the buses are safe.
Yep.
I think there was concern. There was you heard the stories out of New York City and out of Boston that particularly the operators were getting sick and unfortunately some of them dying. And I think the assumption was they must have contracted it on the buses. Studies have since shown that actually riding the buses is, even without the measures that we've taken, is very safe.
Yep.
Because people tend to stick to themselves. They tend to, they're wearing masks. And then we sort of super clean the buses on a regular basis. We have these foggers that make, it's actually safer now to ride a bus than it was before COVID when we weren't doing that.
It was already safe to start, so.
And I think, and I think it's a shame to say, but where the drivers contracted the illness in New York and Boston, some of the larger cities, wasn't actually on the buses. It was in the driver's lounge when you have all those, you have close-to-close contact when people are talking, people are eating. That's not what's going on buses. So I think that's the first thing, disabuse people of that worry about the buses. And then doing things like this. I mean, this is so important, Mike, because this is how we get the word out of what we do. I think for years, maybe we got rested on our laurels a little bit, that we assumed everyone knew about our system. And of course, the people who knew about it were the people already using it.
Yes, exactly.
The key is, how do you reach out to that other group of people that may see an MVRTA bus sort of go down their street but don't know where it goes? So that's something in riding the buses and talking to folks, one thing that really stands out is we don't have bus stops. We have, you flag the bus down, which is, there's a convenience factor there, but it's also intimidating if you don't know
when it's coming,
where it's going. So I've, so many people have said, yeah, I don't really use the MVRTA because it doesn't meet my needs. And we say, how do you know it doesn't meet my needs? Then they say, I don't know, I don't think it does. And so we're showing them just how, wow, this would be so much better if I could get, and you also find we have regular riders who know their route, but don't know the system, don't know how it connects together. So that's part of what we're doing. So we're, we want to reach out to your audience, reach out to your membership, and also make ourselves a little more, I don't want to quite say sexy, but a little more exciting.
Yeah, attractive to the people watching, the people that might need to get somewhere. And it's becoming even more important now because less people have cars. They need ways to get around.
That's right.
The people watching at home right now that already use the MVRTA, they're like, wow, it's safe, it's clean, it's great. But for the people that don't use the MVRTA now, why would each of you say they should use the MVRTA, and how do they learn more about it as well?
I mean, I think one thing is, we're all concerned about the environment.
Yes.
And I think sometimes people think of that as just being electric vehicles. And that's a part of it. I don't think for our system the technology is there to fully embrace that. But what I keep telling people, if you have a full clean diesel bus, that's better for the environment than an empty electric bus.
Yes.
If we can get people that's so, doing your part for the environment, that's one thing. But also just for your own convenience, it's a hassle to drive.
Oh yeah.
It's we were just talking about finding parking here.
Yes, we were talking about that. And now when the winter comes, that's another factor too. We have a lot of snow, so we have all these snow mountains on the sides of the roads and cars parked. So why would you want to take that risk and go out and drive and instead just, use our service?
Yep.
And it gets dark, it's dark early in the morning, it's dark early at night. So why would you take that risk too? Just hop on one of our buses and there you go. It's easier and accessible and cheap.
Yep.
It's affordable.
And the buses have the experience going through the snow, it has no problems, makes it safe.
There are professional drivers.
So,
Yes.
Yep. No, and especially for people that are going back and forth to work, going back and forth to school, if you're driving, you can't, take out your laptop and start studying. You can do that on the bus, though, which makes it
very good
great
point.
as well.
Very convenient.
So how do people learn more about the buses too? How do they learn more about the stops? You said there's no stops. How do they learn more about actually getting on the bus, getting off the bus, if they're not familiar with it yet?
Yes, we actually have a program. We travel train, so we actually teach people how to ride our buses from point A to point B and everything in between.
Yep.
So they contact us. I'm actually the travel trainer as well. So I teach them everything from flagging the bus down, where should you wait for the bus, if it's dark, maybe use a flashlight so they can see you, how to get off, how to tell the driver, let the driver know that you want to get off a certain stop.
And I think also what Neil's talking about is very important for reaching certain segments of the population that really are intimidated by it. I think for you don't actually need to go to school to ride the bus, though.
Correct.
Most people don't. And so you can go to our website.
Yes, our website has all the information. It has all the, we actually created travel training videos before pandemic hit. So if you don't, you can actually go home, go to the website MVRTA.com and access all those helpful videos that we have.
Yep. As a Chamber of Commerce, we, as you said, it's important for businesses to get people there, to get their employees back and forth as well. Do you work with the businesses at all? Do you work in that sense at all?
I mean, we do. We certainly reach, and I think that's something we want to do more of. And I think that's why, I'm so appreciative of the Chamber that providing that natural forum. But absolutely, and certainly, we will be at your events. We will be making, reaching out to the business community when large businesses come into areas. We go out and we make sure they're aware of us and how we could serve their employees and their customers.
Yep.
And in some cases we'll change our routing to fit.
We have done that in the past. Actually, we have Unitex that used to be United Leanings, and they were located on Manchester Street, and they moved to around Beacon Street
areas,
in
yes.
South Lawrence. So we deviated our route and we created that so their employees actually can use our service.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. So if you're a large business,
We can accommodate them,
contact the
yes.
MVRTA, and you can learn more information how you can set something like that up.
Absolutely, and I think ideally, the businesses start thinking about this early on, so that the planning is there
In place,
and
so-
maybe even cite their
Yeah.
locations where it would be easier to access by transit. I know there's sort of a large development that's happening out in Amesbury. The
Ice skating.
It's
Hockey rink.
the Maples
Yes.
Crossing.
Maples Crossing, and so they reached out to us, and so we're planning. This is several years in advance, but we're doing the planning now.
Get it in place
So,
for when
exactly.
they open. They'll be good to go. So
We even drove out on the now
Yes.
dirt road that by the highway just to see what which is being paved
and
right
that's
now.
and that's essential for the cities and towns
Yeah.
in the Merrimack Valley, because now those people living in those cities and towns, they can stay right there, live in their homes and get commute back and forth to work,
Absolutely.
which the MVRTA is an essential part of that. So
It
thank you
is.
for running that operation. Neo, I know you were in the MVRTA with COVID started. You just came on board as well. What changes have you been seeing since COVID started? What ways have you been making it safer to ride the buses and get back and forth?
Well, like Noah said, we have special foggers that, these buses are sanitized on a daily basis. Once they come back to base, they get sanitized. Before, the drivers used to go in one bus all together. Now they use their own bus for their shifts.
Oh,
So
wow.
we have two shifts, one shift in the morning, one in the afternoon, so they go separate. So they keep their own bus. So, we make it as safe as possible, and which is, it's something very important that we have to keep doing for now until this is over.
Yes, definitely. I'll ask you as well. I heard you say the word drivers. Are you hiring drivers right now, or?
Absolutely,
Okay.
and that's I think you've heard the stories about driver shortages across the industry. I think for the anyone who's a parent of children knows that the school buses are
Sure.
less reliable than they've been. So the National Guard has been deployed to drive school buses.
Wow.
As of right now, they haven't been deployed to drive our buses, but I think and so we want to let folks know that this is a great job.
It is.
It's you're active in your community. It's one of the few jobs. As soon as you start, you are the boss of your
Yes.
environment.
Yes.
So where else do you find that? In your bus, you're the boss.
Yeah.
And you get to interact with people. You get to see your environment. You're always moving, and you get to go home. I mean, a lot of people we get people who think they want to be commercial truckers.
Yeah.
And they get their CDL, and they say, "Wow, I'm away from my family for 2-3 weeks at
Yeah.
a time. It's not what I was thinking." And they say, "Wow, I can use my same skills right here in my own community." So that's great. And I think we're we offer a really competitive wage. We offer very, very excellent benefits. I think we found that oftentimes people don't always look at the benefits, and they don't really appreciate it until they need it.
Until they need it. Yep.
This is anecdotal, but apparently I'm told that the female drivers are more likely to look at the benefits. Male
Okay.
drivers just look at the bottom line. But I think we're trying to get the men to be a little more sensitive. But of course the thing is and this is not to cast aspersions of any of our workforce, but supposedly the female drivers are better.
Oh wow.
The only challenge is they rise in the company too fast.
Huh.
So they like Neo, they become they work it up to the executive ranks too soon. So we have to
Yes.
retrain people.
Okay.
But yeah, no, but it's and I think up until recently in Boston there was actually a lottery to be a bus driver because everyone wanted that job.
Wow.
We'd like to have that same thing here.
Yep.
So definitely contact us.
And how do they? Tell everyone home what the best contact information
Yes,
is.
they
as
can
well.
call the main office. The main phone is 978-469-6878, and we'll give you all the information you need. It's also posted on our website, so if they want, they can go to MVRTA.com and get all that information. And we also have a Facebook we have a Facebook page, and we have a Twitter as well. So if you follow us, we are constantly posting. So just follow us on Twitter, Facebook, or go to our website.
And
or
you
give
don't-
us a call.
You don't need to have a CDL. Obviously, it's preferable to have one for driving the big buses, but we have smaller vans that don't require a CDL, and we also train you. So that's,
Yep.
it costs about $10,000 to get
Or
a CDL.
more. That was
more, yeah.
before. But now I assuming it's well over $10,000 to get trained for your CDL.
So that's another benefit of working with us.
And I mean, you're helping your community.
Yeah.
You're getting people where they need to get to. You're helping the businesses. So it makes a big difference being a bus driver with the MVRTA, and it's a safe job.
Yeah.
It's a clean environment.
It is.
And like you said, you're the boss of your bus
Yeah.
as well. So, no, that's great.
And another thing I just add, particularly for your membership, a lot of them are, in the restaurant and entertainment industry.
Yes.
I have to say, I grew up in New York City, and first time I saw a bar with a parking lot, it floored me.
Ha.
But I think that's, that applies everywhere. And if you want to go out to eat, maybe have a few drinks, wouldn't it be nice to not worry about, driving home?
Parking,
Well,
driving
parking,
home.
but then
Yeah,
driving
driving
home, and
if you go to a
it's
bar,
like
yes.
or staggering home, and
Yeah.
and not that we're encouraging
Yeah.
sort of good.
But if it
sort of-
happens, it's a safe way to get home.
It's just where you relieve yourself of that anxiety.
Yes.
And if you don't have that anxiety, you should.
Yeah.
But if you know that the bus will take you home, that just
Just another way to keep it safe
Exactly,
and take
yeah.
that relief off, that stress off you of wondering how you're going to get home. You have to call an Uber if you have to do something like that.
Right.
This makes it a lot easier.
and the Uber,
so.
that's
This makes it all
Yeah.
easier and cheaper. So, what is the pricing for the MVRTA? By the way, is it an annual fee? Can people just go per ride? How for people who haven't rode the bus yet? Why don't you
Yes,
explain that to
we
them?
do have different options. We have a full fare, which is $125 per ride. And then we have a reduced fare for students, seniors, and people with
Oh,
disabilities,
that's great, yes.
which is 60 cents. We also have day passes, and we have 3-day passes. People also have the option of having a Charlie card as well, which they can load either value to it and use it when they tap every time they ride the bus, or they can have a monthly pass on it, which would be $30 for a full fare and $15 for a half fare. They can get the Charlie cards at any of our transit centers, either in Haverhill or here in Lawrence at Buckley, and they can reload on the bus. So it's very convenient, very convenient. And if you pay with a Charlie card and you have store value in it, you save 10 cents per ride, and you have free transfers.
It's amazing how affordable it actually is.
Yes.
And I mean, for the people that want to just try it out, see if it's for them, $1.25 for the one ride. I mean, you might
Doesn't
as well
hurt.
check it out. See how convenient it is. I mean, as you mentioned, see how safe and clean it is as well. It's a great opportunity for people, especially like you said, seniors and students. The opportunity is there as well. I know my great grandmother used to take the bus all around the city, and never a problem at all, which was great to see. So,
Yes.
how do people? I'm just curious. How do people learn? I mean, where are the different stops for the bus as well? I know I see them driving around whenever I go by, but how do people learn about the different stops to actually get on the bus or off the bus?
Yeah, I mean, I think, you can sort of go to our website, and we have each of the routes. We have two sort of primary centers of operation, one, here in Lawrence at Buckley, and so the routes radiate out from there, and then in Haverhill at Washington Square. And then we have one, our actually highest volume route connects the two, the 01 bus. But I think if you look at our website, there's a trip planner, so if you put in your destination, you can see how best to get there.
Yep.
You can also look at a full system map. You can look at individual route maps and see how the whole system connects.
And you can also download the app. It's called the Transit app.
Okay.
That does everything for you. It gives you can set up alerts and everything. So when you have to be outside waiting for the bus, it'll tell you have to walk because the bus is coming in whatever amount of time.
Oh, great. So you make it easy for the
Oh, yes.
riders. So.
Yes.
Noah, you've been 6 weeks, you said, with the MVRTA. What changes, if there are any changes you're looking to implement? Is there anything you're looking to change up? Or is there anything that you're saying, let's keep this way? So.
Right. No, I think there's lots of opportunity to grow, and that's one thing that's coming. I think to go back to our earlier conversation, we need the drivers to make that happen.
Yes.
But I think we'd like to run later at night. We'd like to run at a greater frequency, just so you add that convenience for folks. I think one thing that some of our routes go in a less direct path than I'd like to see.
Okay.
And I think some of that historically is when In the past, due to funding cuts, when routes have been discontinued, you find the route tries to cover two routes with one, and anytime you try to do two things with one, it's less
Complicates
effective.
a little bit, so
we would like to streamline our service a little, still cover the same areas, but do it in a way that's more competitive from a time perspective. And I think the other really big thing, it's it may not seem important, but it's the visibility, and that goes back to what we talked about having the bus stops, having if you have shelters, then people aren't just waiting on the curb hoping that a bus comes by. You feel confident that this is a stop. We have the information.
It's going to be by, yeah.
Exactly, and I think it's not. I think in the past transit has thought that it had to blend in. Now we want to be more in your face. So we have white buses that go up and down the street.
Yep.
So almost they
Pop
look
right
like
out, so.
they don't really. They kind of blend in. They're just
Okay.
But what we were talking what if we made them sort of big bright colors?
Make them pop out, yes.
And I think
Yes.
make them pop out. And I
Yes,
think
you can't miss it, so.
Yes.
I think a lot of the communities we serve come from other countries where they're used to like really bold colors.
Yep.
And maybe we can
We have green ones in the Dominican Republic. They're green.
Yeah.
and there's a bright
Can't
green
miss
too.
it,
It's
so.
not.
Yes,
it's not.
you
It's like
can't.
looking. Yeah, more like they. Your audience won't see that, but more green than the fake pears there.
No, it's great. As I'm just going to ask one last question before we close out. What are the hours of the bus? What hours do you actually run?
Well, right now we run during the week, Monday through Friday. For the first bus is at 5 a.m. The last one is at 7 p.m.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
And yes, it is great, very convenient. And on Saturdays we run 8 to 5. Sorry, 7 to 6.
Okay, great.
And
we're-
No, go ahead. Yeah.
So we are currently not running on Sundays because
Okay.
we need operators.
Yep. No, makes sense.
So we really encourage people to come and apply. It's a great
maybe
job.
in the future.
And I was going to compliment you, Mike, that part of our outreach to our community is hearing from everyone about what we're doing well and what maybe we could do better. And
Yep.
I think at one of your events, so a woman came up to me who works at she's an advocate for nurses, and she was saying that in Haverhill our services don't start early enough
Okay.
to meet the
Their
people
needs.
that she's representing, and I think that's something we're taking very seriously. We want to hear complaint. We definitely want to hear compliments.
Yes.
But we want to hear the complaints
Can't get
too,
better with the complaints,
that
so.
tells us how we can do better.
You
And
can,
I think
you can
that's
address all the needs.
and that comes across with your members when we go out and meet with them. So I think that's something we're definitely going to continue to be a presence
Perfect.
in those events.
No, we appreciate you both taking the times out of your schedule to be here today. I know Neo's always been passionate
I
about
would like to add
Yes.
something before we close
Of course,
out.
of course.
Because people usually do not see us providing transportation to Boston. We actually have a commuter bus.
Okay.
And it's very convenient, like we've said before. It's affordable. It's $6 if you
Yeah,
pay
you
with
can't beat
cash,
that, so.
$5 if you have a Charlie card, and you can get a 10 pass ride.
Okay.
So how convenient is that? And you're on the highway. You're working from your computer while you're commuting.
Yep.
And by the way, that's going to get better because
Okay.
and this was thanks to the planning commission that really was the driving force for this.
Yes.
But MassDOT is going to put in a bus-only lane basically on the shoulder
Oh,
of the
wow.
highway.
Yep.
So I think what better advertisement
Pass all that traffic, so.
for public transportation? If you're stuck in traffic, you're cursing, you're flipping off the guy next to you, you spilled your coffee on your lap, and you look over and you see the bus with all those happy
Flying right
people
by, so,
whizzing right
yeah.
by you on the right. That's
Oh, you can't beat it. So.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Perfect. Well, I appreciate both joining us today. I want to say thank you to Neo. I know she's been very passionate about the MVRTA for many years. I can already see the passion come off from you about the differences you're looking to make happen with the MVRTA and how you're trying to help businesses in the area, how you're helping the citizens in the area as well. So I want to say congratulations on your new position, well-deserved position at the MVRTA. I think they got a great team in store, and we look forward to seeing what changes are taking place. And thank you for helping the businesses in the area as well as part of the Merrimack Valley Chamber. So anything you'd like to add as we close out?
I mean, I just thank you, Mike, for all that you do and that the chamber does, and for recognizing the importance of public transportation to the economy of the entire Merrimack Valley, and thank you for giving us this platform, because this is really helping our visibility campaign.
Thank you both. We appreciate it.
Thank you so
and
much.
on behalf of the Merrimack Valley Chamber of Commerce, again, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, merrimackvalleychamber.com, or give us a call, 978-686-0900. We'd like to say thank you for joining us for another edition of the Merrimack Valley Chamber Means Business program. Thank you to the MVRTA, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you.